Well, thanks for coming out. What a great turnout here. Really appreciate everyone coming out as we get ready to kick off our season. A little bit different this year. College hockey was allowed to start, I didn't find out till a little later, but for the first time in September. So this past Saturday was really our first official starting date. It's normally the first Saturday in October, and it'll revert back to that next year for a large number of years again. So this will be the first year that we're able to actually have an official practice where we're not monitored necessarily by the time restrictions of 2 hours a week. So Saturday was our first practice. We'll get a full week of practice in with our orange-white game on Friday, and then we play our Canadian University or non-conference exhibition game on Saturday before we get into NCAA play. So we do have the benefit of getting a week's worth of practice in before we get going. Myself, our players are excited about the season, as is everyone else around the country, to get the college hockey season going. I think for ourselves, just with the disappointment of last year and where we finished, I think we're a much more determined team, as I've said before to some other folks. I think our team is more determined, and we're looking forward to getting back to really competing for another championship. I thought last year maybe we're snuck in a little bit where we were just a little content coming off of two NCAA bids, and I don't think we were as, I don't want to say motivated, because we were motivated, but just determined and realize how tough it is to win in our league. Our league is getting better and better every year. As Air Force, who had moved on and won their first NCAA, not their first NCAA, but won the first game last year and played for a regional championship and lost a tough one to Harvard. And I think this year there's a lot of teams that are capable of winning our league regular season and playoffs. So we've got our hands full, but I really like what we have coming into the year. I have three captains here. I just want to mention Miles, Chase, and Matt. I think those three, along with Brad, Brady, they call him Brad, we've got four great captains, and I think really four guys that are all conference players leading our team this year. So very fortunate to have their leadership and their abilities, and I think really for them, really health is what we need from them more than anything else. With Chase and Brady both having knee surgery in early January, Miles having labrum surgery as soon as our year was finished and having to play with it from really Thanksgiving on, were things that were not good. They're not good excuses either, but just having your best players healthy, I think, is really important. This year we have Northeastern coming to Blue Cross Arena, which is always a highlight on our schedule, whoever we play. Two players I should mention, Gaudette for Northeastern will have a very good chance to also play for the U.S. Olympic team here this year as well. Had an opportunity to sign with Vancouver and elected to come back to play with Northeastern. And Sakura, another player that had great credentials and will be another All-American type candidate. So Northeastern's bringing a very good team in. Then we move on to Union and RPI, which we'll be hosting this year. Union coming off a shared league title with Harvard last year. So they finished first in their league, and they should be very, very strong again this year. RPI then also coming in, someone a Liberty League opponent along with Union, but someone that we play in all our other sports. So a good rivalry there. We go to Providence for two, who also won their league last year. They shared their league title. Both Union and Providence are both, I think, both top 10 picks in the nation, never mind their own conferences. So from a scheduling standpoint, I think we've got our hands full with our non-conference games. With our own league, I think it's been proven now that we've got our hands full with that as well. I think a lot of very capable teams. We were picked for fourth in our league, and that's fine with us. But it's funny when you look down who was picked near the bottom and so on. I think they're all expecting to have big years as well. So from top to bottom, I think it's going to be an exciting year with 28 of our our game's going to be in league play. I think our team, we return an awful lot of scoring to our team. Miles and Eric Brown, two guys, Gabe, Liam, I can go on and on. We've got a lot of returning guys there. And then with our defensemen, with three of our defensemen returning that were our captains, I think they're all league players, along with Adam Brubaker, who as a freshman last year was Rookie of the Year and made the all-freshman team obviously as well. But I think the defense is going to be extremely strong for us. Our unproven area is going to be goaltending. Christian Short coming in, playing only three games last year, and then two really highly touted goalies coming in as freshmen. We like what we've seen. I think all three have really improved in a short period of time that we've been on the ice already. So we're excited about where that all leads to. But I think that's also in a very important position, and it's going to play, I think, a big role in where we end up at the end of the year. So we're excited about the opportunity in front of us. We're out to prove ourselves again, and I think you have to do that every year, regardless of where you're picked or what last season was like. But this year, I think with a little more incentive, a little more determination, I think should help us challenge Air Force for their first place pick and wherever they're going to finish up, but also the other teams that are picked ahead of us and behind us. I think we've got to be ready for every game and have a good preparation throughout the week as we move out through the season.
Thank you. Thanks for everyone for coming today and showing up for Hockey Media Day. Just want to start off introducing some new staff members that should be familiar to, especially to this area. RIT hockey, men's hockey alum Shane Matalora has been promoted up to first assistant coach. We welcome new assistant coach Melissa Piancentini from Syracuse University. She was 2016 CHA Player of the Year, Conference Player of the Year. So we're excited to get her on the ice and showing our team kind of what to do out there and teach them a couple new tricks. We welcome strength and conditioning coach Billy Sauer, Rochester native. He's taken over all of our strength and conditioning. He's had the girls in since the first day of school, and I know our girls have been working extremely hard at those 6 a.m. workouts right now. Well, thankfully we finished them because we're starting our season soon, or at least they're happy the 6 a.m.s are finished. But we're excited to have Billy on board and kind of see where he takes our team in that department. Sitting over here to my right are our 4 new captains. We graduated all of our captains last year, so it's an exciting time when you have 4 new captains and a new leadership group to take charge and take over and put their own spin on the program. We'll start. Lauren Carroll and Kendall Cornine will be wearing the C's on the team. Mallory Russian and Krista Vuglar will be wearing the assistant captains for the year. So they're over there. With those 4, we finally have an older team. We've been going through a couple years of a rebuild, so all of a sudden we're older with a ton of experience, and we have 17 returning players, and we welcome in 8 new freshmen. So it's just an exciting time at the beginning of the year, and we saw glimpses of that during our first exhibition game, which we won 6-5. It was nice to see us put the puck in the net. We struggled with that last year, and we made a very focused effort in recruiting some younger ones that have that knack around the net, and it showed during our first exhibition game. And then surround them obviously with the older players with the experience. So we're excited to see where the season goes, and no question get back to our winning ways. And seeing how the season ended last year, getting back to the semifinals in the CHA, it's where we want to be at the end of the year, and I thought we were playing our best hockey at the end of the year. But we want to make it to that final day and moving on to the national tournament. Our first big test will be this weekend coming up with a long trip out to Holy Cross, a team we haven't seen since our Division III days. So it's nice to get them back on the schedule as they've elevated to Division I. And then we come back here for 3 straight home weekends as we kick off Brick City weekend playing against Rensselaer. And that we have a couple new faces on the schedule, perennial top 10 teams, and BU will go out there for 2 games, and then we head out to Bemidji, Minnesota, again for 2 teams for another tough road trip. So that's nice to see. We have a balanced schedule. We hit all 4 or the other 3 conferences. We'll play at least 1 team from all the conferences, so we'll get a good gauge of what's out there around the nation. but at the end of the day, we'll focus on our tough CHA schedule and get it done this year for everyone. So thanks again for coming out, and